Energy Minister Darrell Vaz says that the current government will not renew the Jamaica Public Services all-island license to supply electricity without certain changes. What does this mean, and how would the country be powered? So we have Country Manager for InterEnergy Holdings, Wayne McKenzie, with us, and he's going to shine some light on this issue. Morning.
Morning, Dale. How are you?
I am good. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning, Neville.
As Delia said, what I heard, and it's not necessarily what has been said by other people,
right.
Mr. Vaz said he will not renew it in 2027 in its current form.
Correct.
Do you have any idea what this contract says that maybe you say, all right, we're going to remove this piece, we're going to remove that part, and you can continue? Do you have any idea what that might mean?
From my vantage point, right, and you're correct, what I heard and what I read was the minister said that he's not going to be renewing the existing license. Mm-hmm. The existing license commenced in 2001. This is 2025, right? JPSCO license expires 2027. So we're talking about a 27-year-old license with two amendments that I know of, one in 2011 and one in 2014. And I think the amendments were more strategic to positioning one of them natural gas as an alternate fuel, and the other one was some issues that JPS caused, so they introduced a revenue cap in those licenses. So if you look at technology between 2001 and 2024, it has transformed significantly, and license had some burden with it. The first thing is, prior to 2001, the government owned the monopoly. They sold to Mirant. They had to attract foreign direct investors with a lot of guarantees as well. They also introduced some stuff like ROFA, right of first refusal, within the context of JPSCO, where their aging plants can be replaced by new plants without going through, in my mind, a competitive bidding, in the sense that they not just need to hurdle the avoided cost of energy, whilst if I'm an IPP, independent power provider, so if I'm getting into the generation space, I compete with you and I compete with Dela. So the country get the best price. Mm-hmm. Like what happened with the renewable now. We had prices ranging from as low as 6 cents to as high as 14 cents. So the country get the best deal. So it's the same thing. So those are some of the nuances that need to change. Prior to 2001, we didn't have a lot of renewables on the grid. We have a lot of renewables on the grid now. We have a lot of renewables in the domestic space, where people with homes want to supply energy to the grid. The license doesn't necessarily accommodate that easily. So there are a number of things in there that needs to be fixed. And I think, everybody's saying, I hear JPS saying, well, it's going to be dark days for the country. It's not going to be dark days for the country. The license itself is going to be amended. Whoever owns JPS. JPS is not going away now. It's going to be here. You have to have a single buyer where people sell into. It's always managed that it's going to change. So those things, those fundamental has to change to make the price of electricity cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Competition.
Correct.
So you jump in, all right? Say you jump in the thing.
Right.
JPS is still there. Will Neville Bell have the wherewithal to say, well, I want to go with you instead of JPS, because my house done wire up to JPS already? What I do?
No, and probably those are some of the things that the government will look at. So the generation space, there's no exclusivity to JPS in the generation space. Everybody can compete with that. The customer can't choose which genco they buy from.
Can or cannot?
Cannot. Currently, because JPS has exclusivity for transmission and distribution. So Evergo, we have a charging network where we provide charging for electric cars. Right. We own the largest generating assets in the country right now, but I can't sell to my chargers because the exclusivity rests with JPS. I think some of those things are what the government might be looking at. They might be looking at how do we deal with some of the social issues that we have. You have communities that can't afford to pay electricity. They probably might just want to put solar with batteries and you power those communities, and then JPS, our government can recover cost. On the other hand, the JPS themselves, after exercising the last set of ROFA that they have, meaning right of first refusal for the existing plan that they have, they're going to be basically a transmission and distribution company, because all their generating assets are now going to be privately held by the owners of current JPS. Those things need to look, they need to look at those things. How do we handle losses? Will we be able to recover any investment where losses are concerned? So this unraveling of the license, I hear every single person, not one person is saying that it shouldn't be. I hear the opposition spokesman say it should be. I hear private sector say it should be. I hear JCC say it should be. I hear JMEA say it should be. And they're right. We're talking about a 27-year-old license, you know. It's not an amendment in this country. It needs a reform.
Yeah. Quoting the Gleaner, they said a source close to the matter said it's uncharted territory. Is it uncharted for us here in Jamaica, or uncharted globally?
Well, if you're going to unwrap a 27-year-old document, right, then it's uncharted. Well, simple amendments to a complex document like that won't work. And I've heard, you know, everybody talking about, you know, we need to do something with the license, we need to do something with the license. It's a boasted by the minister to choose to do that. He did say that he's going to be inviting stakeholder representative participants and JPS to the table to discuss these amendments. We have a very, very good regulator who in my mind is straitjacketed by the current construct of the license. So we have to look at that as well. The independent system control operators need to be independent as well, not reporting into a JPS board, but an independent body. So the units that are dispatched to the grid are the least cost to the grid as long as security is observed. Yeah.
What are the alternative sources of power?
All right, so the country currently has heavy fuel oil, which we own a few of them. They have gas turbines burning LFO, that's diesel oil, and natural gas, which is a cheaper commodity and cleaner commodity. We have renewables. So you have Wigton wind farm, which has probably 60-something megawatts. You have BMR in St. Elizabeth, which we own, which is another 36 megawatts. You have EREC in Westmoreland, which is also is a solar plant, which we own again, which is 27 megawatts. You have Content Solar. So it's more diversified than what it was in 2000, where it was probably 90% fossil fuel. And it's getting there because the just concluded RFP by the generation procurement entity awarded 100 megawatts of solar. And there's also another RFP that is supposed to be coming out with more diversified energy mix, including batteries, geothermal, you name it. So the country is getting there, and the resilience is there. Let me use this opportunity to say that there are some important strides by JPSCO as well. When you look at Beryl, for example, the recovery was very, very quick, despite what people think. The other thing that we experienced for the first time in the history of this utility is that the country the company was robust enough that we are generating capacity throughout the hurricane. So some people didn't lose electricity. You have to allow them for that. They have invested some money. It's because it's back-end investment, you really don't see it. Yeah. But you're right. The license needs to change. The license needs to be amended.
I was watching a documentary on somewhere in Africa that this gentleman used water from a river to come up with electricity for his community. Yeah. We have so many rivers in Jamaica and stuff. Nothing like that can work?
We have hydros. We have hydros in Mogati, which is St. Elizabeth. We have hydro just up Ramzan, which is Constant Spring. We have hydros in White River and Roaring River, but they're small. Our biggest hydro potential creates a conflict. Our biggest hydro potential is in Portland, and as tourists. So you're competing with the tourist sector, and you want to alter the natural flora and fauna.
I don't understand that. Explain that.
All right. So what you saw in Africa, you have two types of hydrology.
No, I don't understand when you say that it's conflict.
It conflicts because what happens, you have to change river courses. You have to dam some areas, right, to create the flow that you want.
But what that has to do with tourism?
You can't raft. you can, the ecotourism side of the country is going to die.
Okay.
You know, so that's the
Natural
conflict.
beauty and
But Jamaica has about 50 megawatts of hydro potential. We do have
Potential.
Yes. But it's going to compete with something else.
So as far as you know, we really shouldn't be too concerned about this?
No. You know, people talk about the banks will feel a way about it and the ratepayers will suffer. That's ridiculous. The license is something that JPSCO uses to operate the business that they have.
Yeah.
The minister is not saying that the country is going to remove the license. He said the existing form will no longer exist. And JPSCO has 2 years to negotiate this contract.
Could it be possible that in 2 years we hear say, all right, you are one of them, Clive is one of them, JP is still in it, Neville's still in it, Daly is still in it, you can choose and say, well, all right, I want to go with Clive. Well, I probably wouldn't go with Clive, but I mean, I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what the minister is saying. What the minister is saying is I'm not going to be negotiating with a JPSCO alone. Because if we go down the road in, say, the last quarter of 2026, and I'm talking to you alone, you're going to leverage that position. You don't have time. Yeah. So he's saying we have 2 years, right? And as he's also saying, because he's hedging a bet, you know, we have 2 or 3 or 4 months to an election. So if he loses, then the other party has that mandate. But whoever is in charge of the country, where the electric sector is concerned, has 2 years to negotiate with the existing owners, and even with that, they can acquire the share. And the government, as I said before, is always, this government, when I mean this, I mean Jamaica government, has never reneged on any contract. And they always use fair market prices for enterprises like PDVSA with Petrojam. So the investors will get what they invested from a fair market value perspective. But they're saying, yes, you guys own it. We're going to have conversations with you, but we're not going to keep the conversation with you alone. We're going to keep the conversation with others who was interested in bringing the price of electricity down. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Well explained.
Thank you.
Well explained. Don't move. Sit with us Friday.
Full of energy.
Well, it's Inter Energy. Our country manager for Inter Energy Holdings, Mr. Wayne Mackenzie. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
It's stories like these that keep us motivated. Nurse Carol will share hers after the break. Stay with us, please. Soon come.